Alright, welcome to another video war. Today I'm going to be touching on ELRS and some very important changes that's going to make the world of difference for us flywing pilots, because so far this ELRS, it's just not been quite right, and there's been a lot of conflictions. And as you all know, as flywing pilots, like we've all been told we've got to run at 333 full and 100 full with 16 channel rate 2. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, we were not getting full 3 positions on this switch. Because if we go over to this screen here, and I'll show you what I mean. On channel 5, ELRS always dedicates channel 5 to ARM. There's nothing we could do about this before, and obviously we're restricted to channel 5 as flight modes. So we were always mixing the ELRS ARM with the flight modes of the Flywing Flight Controllers, which has been causing issues in my opinion. And as you know, we had to run in 16 channel rate 2 here. When you do 16 channel rate 2, if you go down to here, it tells you there half rate. It actually halves the rate and the speed of that switch as well, so it's not a full resolution switch anymore, so which is causing issues. And as well, if you can see what I mean by this, is when I flick that switch all the way to the top, if you notice, it says armed, and that's the ELRS in an armed state. So when I switch it down to GPS, it goes off. Switch it down to ATT, it stays off. The ELRS is actually only ever in an armed state when you've got your switch all the way at the top. So if you've got a scale, that's return to home. If you've got the FW450, that's GPS, and that's the only time your ELRS believes it's armed. And when it's not armed, it does a whole lot of funny things. I think I can see it on here somewhere. Right, if we look at this section here where you've got safety, it's telling us how the receiver and transmitter act differently in an armed and disarmed state. Basically, when it's armed, there's safeguards applied for certain movements, and the performance when armed, the performance is activated dynamic power, missionary telemetry packets will push transmission power to max. There's just loads of safety features incorporated with ELRS when you're armed, and it's also going to give full telemetry, full power. But the minute your ELRS isn't armed, as indicated by this screen here, the minute it isn't armed, it's going into a low power state, and it's not giving you full resolution on your switches. As far as the ELRS is concerned, when we're flying in ATI or GPS, we're actually, as far as the ELRS is concerned, we're not flying, we're on the ground. So it's limiting everything, and it's confusing the system, and I believe this has caused a lot of issues. So we can change this now. If we go over, if you look at what they got on GitHub at the moment, we can now assign ARM to a switch instead of having it dedicated to channel 5. We had no choice. Channel 5 was strictly programmed to flight modes and flywing, and channel 5 was strictly programmed to arm, disarm on ELRS. So obviously the first thing you need to do is just update your firmware on your ExpressLRS to 4.0 and above. If you don't know how to do it, go over to this website. Brilliant. It's got all the information on there that you need. Right, the first thing you want to do is, if we go into model there and see your internal RF, go into your internal RF, and you'll be able to see there we can now change the arm using. So if we now change that to a switch, whichever switch you're using for your motor run, change it to that. So I'm using switch E, and I want it to arm in that position. So if I go back now and go back there and go into system, go back over to that one, into the ELRS menu, and now if you notice, my armed is now, if I can zoom out, let me take that away. So now I'm doing my motor run, so that's motor on, motor off, and now obviously motor on, my ELRS is armed, motor off, my ELRS turns off. So that's a great bonus. I'm no longer have we got it assigned to this switch here, and we're restricted. Because we've de-restricted ourselves from that, we can now get rid of 16 channel rate 2 and go to 12 channel mixed. So now we have full resolution on channel 5 without it conflicting with arming. So this is one great bonus, and oh, it's saying I can't do it whilst I'm connected to the helicopter, but that's fine. So what you want to do there is, if I just disconnect the helicopter a sec, I'll be able to show you. Sorry about that. Helicopter's now disconnected. Right, as you can see, look, now we can just take away the 16 rate 2 and go to 12 channel mixed. And then your packet ratio and telemetry, that's up to you. If you want a fast connection, do 333 1/8. If you want to slow it down, just bear in mind, the less strain we can put on the system, the better, in my opinion. If you notice, that goes down to 881 BPS in comparison to, let's have a look at that one. I think it was 3,219, sorry. But yeah, the lower we can get that BPS and still get reliable telemetry, the better. So at the moment, I'm just on 101/8, and that's 881 BPS. So make all these changes, guys, and you'll notice the difference, and it will certainly stop all the conflictions that we had. And so I hope that's a benefit for you. Don't forget the fun. If you're not subbed, drop us a sub. There'll be more coming soon. I'm going to do a more in-depth one, but that's just to get everyone over to ELRS 4, I see in the bottom corner there, 4.0.1. Get over to that and get your run stop switch, your arming moved off of channel 5, and then get full resolution back on that switch, and we're good to go. So thumbs up. Take care.